Irashaimase. Hello and welcome to Fitaurus Kitchen. I'm your host, Chef Fitaurus. It's time once again for Shoot 'em Up Saturday, and on the menu this Saturday we have Kyuyo Blaster, a short fun shoot 'em up recently released on Steam. What kind of taste will it have? Let's get cooking and find out. So here we find ourselves at the main menu. The options are relatively bare bones right now, but the developers have said they're working on it, so that could change over time. As we start the game, we get to select our difficulty. There are 3 difficulties that I'm aware of: the normal, hard, and then you can unlock an expert difficulty. We'll be looking at it under normal today. Once you've selected your difficulty, you're taken to your team select. Here you select your team and also your ancient assist power that you will provide benefits during the game. I'll explain that in a little bit when we get to it. Depending on which team you pick will determine which characters you can select from. There are a huge number of characters in this game, 16 to be precise. Unlocked 5, 6, and 5 depending on which team you pick. Today we'll be playing as Team 3, so we'll select Microwave, and then we're taken to our character select. Under Team 3 we can select between X3-chan, Himmel 3, Sylph, Lena, and Brian, and they each have a short little story kind of describing who they are. We'll take X3 today as she's actually one of the characters that's in the story itself. Once we select our character, we can select a special power. So there's the super laser, which is just basically like it sounds. It's just a really big fired laser. Shield. It's actually really good for dealing damage, so that one's one that I do quite like. The devil rockets. And the laser shark. It's also there are also additional special powers. I haven't unlocked them all. Today let's try the devil rockets though, and then you have a stage select. This is unlocked as you go and complete game stages throughout the game, but we'll start from the beginning today. There is a tutorial which actually really well explains the various systems of the game, but I'll go over them as we play. And then you have cutscenes before and after most stages. I think it's time, Mr. Cheeks. X-John, Dad, when are we gonna kill bugs? I'm getting bored of playing this game. Mr. Cheek, easy boys, I'm sure X1 already finished his reconnaissance mission. It's just a matter of time. X3-chan, I'm hungry. I think I'll go in for a chocolate. Radio, X1, Squad 1 reporting in. Over. X1 here, over. Mr. Cheek, yes, what's happened? Are you Crash. Invader insects from outer space. Ancient Mystics powers, we need your help. Well, X3, I think you will not have to wait anymore. Yee! Ready. So, as you might tell, the story is actually pretty bizarre. We're basically a team of, mini heroes led by a genius, a guinea pig by the name of Mr. Cheeks, fighting off these alien invader insects from outer space. So, Kyuyo Blaster has a base of a horizontal scroller, and adds on to that the benefits of having all those characters, a fun, bizarre story, and a really great pixel art style. The backgrounds, the characters are really well designed. The first stage in particular, I think, looks great. We're already to our first boss, Mr. Garrison the Ambassador. Let's go and talk about some of our abilities. So in addition to our main shot, we have the Mystic Ancients powers, which will build up over time as we shoot enemies, whether we're actually just defeating enemies or just simply dealing damage to them. So in the case of Microwave here, he forms this shield around you which protects you from enemy shots, but only lasts a certain amount of time. You might have noticed that as we were defeating enemies, the enemies would disappear into gems. Those gems increase our power gauge in the bottom left of the screen. That power gauge is what allows us to use our special powers. Since we picked the Devil Rockets, if we use that, we'll currently activate a level 2. Let's see if we can get that a little bit better. We also have a Pulse attack. Or not really a pulse, but it's more like a screen-clearing bomb where you can burst one of your pulses. It's kind of like an EMP pulse that eliminates all the bullets and turns them into gems. Mr. Garrison, the Ambassador, is down, and with that, Stage 1 is complete. So you guys erase the plague, and X3 give the regards to Snek and Himmel. Now go, and good luck. We also get to pick upgrades between stages. We can increase our speed, reduce shot speed, increase or reduce shot cadence, increase bullet speed, get 1-up, extra bullets, get a pulse if you don't have one when you die, and extend the duration of items on the screen. So some of these are one-time upgrades, other you can keep on buying, such as the 1-up. We'll increase our speed for this stage, and we find ourselves now in stage 2. Unfortunately, our power reset, so I can't show off the devil rockets just yet. Let's try and get some gems and use those this time around. So one of the things I really like is the way that the pulse takes all the bullets on the screen and turns them into gems, giving you a way to increase your power meter even during a boss fight. That allows for some really interesting and unique tactics, I think. We also have various power-ups that we've been collecting. So the B's give us Bullet Storm. There's also a C, which gives us Kurt Shot, is what the game goes and calls it. H for homing missiles, L for lasers, which also home, but really nice. And we also have drones, support drones that we can get. Basically options that add additional firepower to what we're shooting. Though if they take enough damage, they will eventually be destroyed. Here we are already at the boss of the second stage, and let's go and use our power this time. Our special is maxed out. So this is what the max special, the devil rocket looks like. So we fire basically a shark rocket that deals heavy damage. So this enemy is great for showing off the power of the pulse. We can use the pulse to basically give us a full power special. The specials do also clear enemy bullets as well. With that, the stage 2 boss is done. And so we have more cutscenes. And on to our item selection and stage 3. And that's the basics of Kuyo Blaster. It's unfortunately a little on the shorter side. So talking about its flavors, that would be my first minus flavor. The stages themselves aren't very long, and there are only 8 of them, so the game goes really quickly. If you're looking for a short shoot 'em up, that might not necessarily be a bad thing. My other minus flavor, though, despite the fact that there are 16 different playable characters you can select, they basically all handle and control the same. Although they might look different, the bullet spread that they have and the way that they handle are functionally identical. So it's basically just a whole bunch of skins, which is disappointing when you have that that high of a number of character options. That said, let's move on to the plus flavors. So the game itself is just a whole bunch of silly fun. From its bizarre storyline with admittedly at the moment like a kind of bizarre translation, from just the fun shoot 'em up gameplay with all the cute characters that we can play, as well as enemy sprites. So let's see, even sometimes bizarre focus on gore that it sometimes has. Like one of the characters we can play is actually a disembodied dog head. It's really weird. And then definitely the sprite work itself is one of the really big pluses of the game itself. The backgrounds, the sprite work, and not something I generally talk about in my reviews, but another huge plus flavor is actually the price point. The game itself has a retail price of $4 on Steam, so at that price, it's really a bargain for what you get. And there we have it. Kuyo Blaster served up for your enjoyment. This is definitely a dish I could recommend trying. It's one that is short, so it's not going to really fill you up, but it will be fun and enjoyable while you're enjoying it. That'll just about wrap it up for this week's episode of Shoot 'em Up Saturday. As always, I want to thank you so much for coming out and joining me, and as always, I look forward to seeing you again next week.